It's Christmas Eve, it's cold out, the days are short, we all want something to warm us up. We're gonna make maybe the hottest drink there is, the Blue Blazer. Blue Blazer is a pre-prohibition, frontier drink that appears in Jerry Thomas's Bartender's Manual, the Bible of cocktails. It actually first appears in print around 1850, according to David Wondrich, and there are really 3 likely origin stories for this drink, 2 of which are Jerry Thomas himself, just different versions. The first of which involves the days when Jerry Thomas was bartending in the El Dorado, and a wild-eyed frontier maniac stumbled into the bar and screamed,
Now, who can argue with that?
which roughly translates to, "Barkeep, fix me up some hellfire that'll shake me right down to my gizzard." Of course, the barkeep in question was Jerry Thomas, who instructed the maniac come back in about an hour, at which time he performed the creation of the Blue Blazer, which he had invented in the intervening time. That actually doesn't come from Jerry Thomas, that comes from a contemporary of his. Jerry Thomas himself says that, no, I made it up on a slow day when I was just standing around the bar setting things on fire for fun, which is normal. I think, honestly, the most likely possibility, which is actually a footnote in David Wondrich's Imbibe, is that the Blue Blazer is a single-serving version of a naval punch called the Blue Blazes. David Wondrich remarks that he needs to do more research to prove that point, and possibly in the intervening years he has, and has published an article about it that I missed or something. So if there's better information out there about the origins of the Blue Blazer, you probably know more than I do, because this is a fixed medium in time. I can't really correct it. It's done now. It's already happened. It's in the past. And so what is the Blue Blazer? It's kind of a hot toddy made with Scotch. In Jerry Thomas's original version, he recommends using both Scotch and Irish whiskeys, but then later in reprints, he says you don't really need to do that. You can just use Scotch. David Wondrich, for the record, doesn't really say you need anything other than Scotch. He says you do need some cask strength Scotch, and I'm gonna go with Glenfarclas 105 Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. This is some potent stuff. Actually, we should grab a little cup and do a taster of this, actually. Yeah, I honestly have not tasted this whiskey. I just bought it because I liked it. And so let's just talk baseline about what Glenfarclas tastes like, right? Very natural looking color. Ooh, a little bit of iodine on the nose. Definitely. Yeah. Peaty and salty, kind of. I like that. I get iodine and sherry. Very strong. And also alcohol, that is high proof. I get iodine and sherry that give way to some kind of like stone fruit, like cherry, but like cherry wood almost. I don't know. That's the impression I get. I don't know if I can actually tell you what cherry wood tastes like, but it's woody and it's like cherry, so it's like cherry wood, huh? Woohoo! The other thing you're gonna need to make this drink is a set of, well, even you don't need these, but certainly recommended are official Blue Blazer mugs designed by David Wondrich and sold by Cocktail Kingdom. You could use any big heavy metal mugs that have a good lip for pouring, and you should want to practice this process a few times with just water. What are we doing? So a Blue Blazer is made by essentially preparing a toddy, setting it on fire, and then rolling it between 2 mugs to create big demonstrational gouts of fire. It's quite exciting. I have never attempted it before, but I figure, you know, if we're gonna do it, we may as well get it on camera. David Wondrich then further suggests serving individual portions into some kind of ceramic mug. He likes a demitasse, like for espresso. I didn't have any espresso demitasse around. I have these little teacups, but these are great. These will be fine. You could serve it in a single cup, but you have to make kind of more of this than a single serving, just because of the volumes that are necessary to get it to fire and to get it to pour in a meaningful way. You need to have a bit more than one person's drink. So it makes a batch of about 4 of these. So the first thing I wanna do is I have a kettle here with some water. I wanna set this to boil. The next thing I'm gonna do is take these 4 mugs that I plan to serve it in, and I'm gonna set them out. Each one of these will get a bar spoon to a bar spoon and a half of Demerara sugar. I'm gonna go with just a little extra. And a piece of lemon peel. If you look into the history of hot toddies, we did an episode of the hot toddy, and a lot of people thought, hey, I thought a hot toddy had tea in it and stuff. Tea and honey and all this lemon juice and everything, and those are great ways to make a hot toddy. But if you look at roots hot toddies as they would have been served in around the 1860s, at least as far as Jerry Thomas's manual, they were made with water. And if you happened to put a twist of lemon in it, it would become not a toddy, but a whiskey skin. So as David Wondrich will say in Imbibe, this is basically just a very showy way to make a couple of Scotch skins. At this point, we are ready for action. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 ounces of my Scotch into the first mug here. And the next thing I want to do is add 4 ounces of boiling hot water to this. Maybe I should eyeball it, but I'm going to do it with a jigger in the interest of science. It does seem crazy to pour boiling water off of an uninsulated metal thing here, but as long as you hold it from the second cup, you won't transfer enough heat to one to the other. Now we add this to that. And away we go. Should be burning. It is. So, although in this lighting, you can't quite see that it's on fire, trust me, it's on fire. Extremely on fire. And, now my bar's on fire. We're going to put that out with the bottom of this mug. David Wondrich says that you should do this until your handles are hot. And my handles are getting pretty hot.
Again! Please don't let the invisible fire burn my friends!
So now I'm going to pour all of it into this one. And now I will dole that, still on fire, into each individual mug. Woo! Getting hot, baby! And we will put that out with the bottom of our mug. That was very stressful, guys. I just want to point out that that was not actually as much fun as it looked. Okay, so we've made it. These might need a little bit of help dissolving, so just give them a quick stir. Just get some of that sugar worked out. The heat and the whiskey and the sugar should do a pretty good job of getting, and also this little bit of agitation, will do a pretty good job of getting plenty of oil out of that lemon peel, I suspect. A Blue Blazer, bottoms up. It's got a real intense aroma. I mean, that is like, whew, it's like, it smells like a fire. It's not on fire, right? Good, no. It's delightful. It's really nice. It's hot. It's not hot. It's not burning your mouth hot. It's warm, very warm, like a toddy. And there's just the right amount of sweetness and lemon and dilution to balance that cask strength Scotch. I'm really impressed by how nice that is. I will probably never permit myself to make this for friends, just because I'm generally fairly drunk when making the drinks for friends. And this is not something you should do drunk. As a matter of fact, I want to point out, a lot of people like to guess, hey, which episode in the shoot is this? This is number 1. We did this first for a very good reason, to protect myself. And we did set the bar on fire a little bit. Just put it out at the bottom of the mug. Just so that you guys are aware, for safety's sake, I have a fire extinguisher right here. I've got wet towels all over the place that I can douse things with. And I've got a PA over here with another fire extinguisher. So there was a lot of safety. I mean, there was thought given to safety, but it's, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't, oh, look at that. I did curl the hairs on my finger there. I did burn some hair off my finger. Just a bit, yeah, just a little bit of stink burning hair there. It's no joke, actually, that's for real. I enjoy this though, I think it's tasty. Obviously the drink is mostly about the show because at the end of the day, it is really just a very simple Scotch Skin. I would enjoy the hell out of this by the fire on a cold evening. This is the perfect winter drink. It is the perfect winter spectacle drink. Perhaps the perfect winter drink is much lower effort. And it's really pleasantly nutty, kind of sweet right up front. I really enjoy that actually, this is delicious. No surprising twists or turns, just nice, and that whiskey malty cereal sweetness warms you up from the inside. I'm sweating already, probably from the stress of juggling fire. It's good, man. I actually really like it. I just don't know, frankly, if it's worth the risks of setting your face on fire. Just to let you know, all my watches are provided by Crown & Caliber, the best place to buy or sell a watch. Check them out if you're into watches in the link below. Why don't you check out my hot toddy, which is a great drink, very similar to this, or eggnog, which is another drink that is a great thing to have around the holidays. Maybe you want to take a look at the mulled wine that we did earlier this week. Smoking Bishop, which is Charles Dickens' own recipe for mulled wine. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Christmas Eve. And I dropped this strategically on Christmas Eve so that none of you would have time to prepare to demonstrate this drink for your friends, family, or guests, because I don't want to be responsible for any burned down Christmases. You should do this in the cold light of day on a soberer afternoon. But I hope you do. I hope you're having a fantastic Christmas Eve, and I will see you guys very soon. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.